Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's January 18th, 2017. I noticed there's a lot of fear porn being put out about Trump being assassinated on Inauguration Day. A lot of the mainstream YouTube channels are talking about this, and they're all presenting it with a certain narrative. It's that Donald Trump's this outspoken hero against the establishment. He's a populist. He's the voice of the people. You know, the media and people in the media and mainstream YouTube personalities, they're all trying to push this. And what they're saying is because he's these things, his life could be in danger on Inauguration Day. And what I want to show people is for more than a year, I've been showing why Donald Trump might very well be assassinated. It's been foreshadowed in a number of ways. People have compared him to George Wallace. People said he was the most bigoted candidate to run for president since George Wallace, who was shot in 1972 running for president on the campaign trail. The man who shot him, Arthur Bremer, he has a movie made about him, a spin-off, Taxi Driver, starring Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro last August 2016 compared Donald Trump to the main character in Taxi Driver. 1972, 44 years before 2016, the election of Trump. We're going to talk about the number 44 in assassinations throughout history. There's a language called gematria. The word kill equals 44. The first president to die in office died on April 4th, 44, 1 month into his term, William Henry Harrison. They say he died from the flu. I suspect he died from arsenic. He was the first Whig. 1 month into his term, 4-4. The first president to be assassinated in the history books is Abraham. Abraham in gematria sums to 44, just like the nickname Honest Abe. And supposedly in history, on April 4th, 1865, just before his assassination, on 4-4, he recorded in his journal that he dreamt of being assassinated. Martin Luther King Jr. would die on that date in 1968, April 4th. Obama would be elected the 44th president 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. Malcolm X, another black leader who died on a date with 44 numerology, February 21st, 221. We're going to talk about that number with Trump. February 21st, 1965, a date with a life lesson number of 44. His assassin's name, Thomas Hagen, equals 44. Thomas Hagen got 44 years in prison. But anyway, we're going to talk about Inauguration Day and what I noticed about Inauguration Day in regards to this news from last year, August 10th, 2016. A man scaling Trump Tower. And then the news story put out a YouTube video that the man supposedly posted to YouTube. Do you recall this story? August 10th, 2016, a man protesting by climbing the 58-story Trump Tower. That was August 10th, the 223rd day of 2016 because it was a leap year. 223, very important number to Freemasonry. We're going to talk about what Freemasonry has to do with the 58th presidential election, which Donald Trump just won. Trump Tower that man was scaling is 58 stories tall. Donald Trump just won the 58th presidential election. Inauguration Day is a date with 58 numerology. And this year, they got a new main man for the ceremonies. The man who'd been doing it since the 34th president, Eisenhower, he was replaced just a little more than a week ago by a 58-year-old man. 58, number of Freemasonry, important number to the history of this nation, important to NASA, which is run by Freemasons. We're going to talk more about 58. But anyway, this news story, the man scaling the building, that was the 58-story Trump Tower. The name Lady Gaga equals 58. She protested outside of this 58-story building on November 9th. Anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. The date Donald Trump, Mr. Wall himself, announced as the 45th president. Berlin Wall in gematria equals 45. Here's another fun one. Mike Pence, his vice president. Mike Pence equals 45. Donald Trump equals 48. Trump's the 45th president. Pence is the 48th vice president. Isn't that funny? And their names point to each other. Not by coincidence. It's because all this stuff is planned out way in advance. So check this out. This year, President-elect Donald Trump is breaking from 11 presidents' worth of tradition and benching Charles Brotman, the 89-year-old. It's funny that 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number. The 12th Fibonacci number is 144. 144? We'll be talking about Trump 44, 144, and more in just a moment. But just understand that 89 is a Fibonacci number, so is 144. The Fibonacci number that comes before 89 is 55. The sequence goes 34, 55, 89. The way it works is you take the number that comes before it. So 34 plus 55 equals 89. Then 89 plus 55 equals 144. Then 89 plus 144 is 233. You see? And then you just keep going. 144 plus 233, 377. Can you follow what I'm doing? Just the pattern. You add the last two numbers to get the next number. So anyhow, 89, the 11th Fibonacci number, 89 years old, 11 presidents. Now he's bringing in this 58-year-old named Steve Ray, who calls the ball games for the Washington Nationals. This man used to call the ball games for the old Nationals team back in the day that moved. I have to remember what city they moved to. Maybe Minnesota? Anyway, the fact that Steve Ray, the man who they're bringing in that's 58 years old for this inauguration for the election of the president who won the 58th presidential race, and now Inauguration Day on the 58 numerology. Here's the date numerology for Inauguration Day 58. Here's the relevance of 58. Freemasonry equals 58, secret society 58, annuit coeptus, like on the dollar bill 58. They've been coding this number next to Trump in regards to tragedy. You might recall that on Easter Sunday 2016, that was March 27th, there was a Trump tombstone found in Central Park in New York. Trump tombstone happens to equal 58. United States has gematria 58, a nation founded by Freemasons. Look at this. The name of the 58-year-old is Steve Ray. If you write out Steve Ray, it sums to 115, just like Freemasons, the plural. Donald Trump is taking office with the 115th Congress, 115. His campaign for president was 511 days from June 16th, 2015 to November 8th. 511, the reflection 115. When you write out 58, it happens to sum to 115. Just like when you write out 148, and 148 is a number stamped all over Donald J. Trump's career, like on the cover of his first published book, The Art of the Deal, by Donald J. Trump. He has towers that have this name gematria, and more. Anyway, look at how they both connect to 115. He wins the 58th presidential election, taking office with the 115th Congress. As I've been explaining since the beginning of the history of this nation up to the present, it's all by the numbers. To me, it seems that the United States is this creation by the New World Order, mimicking the Bible, following biblical prophecy. Revelation, the final book of prophecy and destruction that concludes the Bible. There's this letter written to 7 churches. One of the most important letters, if you read it, that resonates with this nation we live in is written to the Church of Philadelphia, which is the name of the original capital of this nation. And if you read Revelation, there's a lot of 7 and 4. Think about this nation's birthday. In Revelation, the warning signs are trumpets. Think about this being the Trump-Pence ticket. Holy Bible in gematria sums to 45. Here's the Trump-Pence ticket for the 45th presidential administration. Here's the start of Trump's campaign to Election Day, 511 days, the reflection of 115. But anyhow, now let's go back to what is so interesting about this man scaling Trump Tower. After the news of him scaling, it came out that he uploaded a video the day before, August 9th, called Message to Mr. Trump, Why I Climbed Your Tower. What's interesting about this is Message to Mr. Trump, the main title, sums to 223, August 10th, the day he supposedly climbed the tower. And by the way, if you look at this person in the video, and if you look at the man who climbed the tower, they don't look anything alike. It's obvious that they're not the same person. This guy has long, straight hair. The other guy has a wave to his hair, just a different build. The guy climbing the tower is built. This guy is noticeably skinny. Notice he's also wearing the Under Armour logo. We'll get to that. But anyway, Message to Mr. Trump, 223. The tower scaling, the 223rd day of the year. Masonic equals 223. Again, it's a 58-story building. Freemasonry 58. Secret Society 58. Special number, NASA established in 58. The word science happens to equal 58. The word star. Science explains our understanding of this world as, a star making it all possible. Special numbers, significant words. This message to Mr. Trump in Pythagorean gematria also sums to 70. Donald Trump is taking office at age 70. Message to Mr. Trump with the S exception sums to 88, just like the name Trump itself. Very important number for Donald Trump in the ongoing coded headlines. And just as a reminder, Trump is taking office. He was born June 14th, 1946. He's taking office at age 70 years, 7 months, 7 days. Inauguration Day, 777. Order out of chaos in Jewish gematria equals 777. A Freemason motto. They believe in order out of chaos, divide and conquer. This is how they operate. Sinister throughout history. So check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. Wait a minute, Truth Seeker. Oh, I'm on the wrong slide. Sorry for the unnecessary suspense. Here is where it gets interesting. From the date of the climbing of Trump Tower to Inauguration Day is 163 days. And remember, he was climbing a 58-story tower. 58's a big part of the ritual here. 58 was coded into the Trump tombstone. From that day, the climbing of the tower to Inauguration Day is 163 days. And look at this. Trump's been wearing the phrase, "Make America Great Again," all year on his forehead. He's replacing Barack Hussein Obama. Same gematria. 163. January 20th, the day where they share the White House, Obama's last minute on the job is 9 a.m. Eastern Time. January 20th. The 9th hour of the day, Donald Trump takes office, Obama leaves. Make America Great Again, Barack Hussein Obama. And just think about that name, Barack Hussein Obama. This man came out of nowhere. He emerged on the scene in 2004 at the Democratic keynote address. Nobody knew his name before then. He was a nobody to the American people. In 4 years, he became the president. And when they first introduced him after the Democratic keynote address, they asked, could this man be the next president? Could this be the first black president of America? They asked that question right away. Boom. Just from the Democratic keynote address. Think about it. That was the post-9/11 agenda, first decade, where they'd scared the American people with the name Osama, the name Hussein, Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden. The word Osama bin Laden has the gematria of 110, just like the word president. The World Trade Centers in New York that fell were 110 stories tall. The name Rockefeller equals 110, the family that proposed those buildings. Nelson Rockefeller was the governor when they were first funded. Anyway, Make America Great Again, 163. Barack Hussein Obama, the stage name, 163. And this is what we get for president. We get actors. I mean, Donald Trump, he's even acted in WrestleMania. Now he's the president of the United States. This number 163, it's also the 38th prime number. The word change equals 38, death 38. the change from Obama to Trump, the two men who've been attached at the hip through the birther argument. Whoops. How'd that happen? Sorry about that. So anyway, these two men attached at the hip through the birther argument. Obama's number 44, but the 43rd person to be president. That's been true since the 25th president. Grover Cleveland screwed it up, having that split term, number 22 and number 24. So the 25th president was the 24th person. Obama number 44, the 43rd person. Trump number 45, the 44th person. The last president to die in office was JFK, who was the 44th term president. Again, the word kill equals 44. But anyway, Obama ran on hope and change. Hope equals 44. Change equals 38. 163, the 38th prime. The scripted change from Obama to Trump. I pointed out the day this happened. I have a video on this if you want to go back and watch it from August. From August 10th to the anniversary of this building he was climbing, November 30th, 11/30113. From the date of the climbing to November 30th, 113 days. Donald Trump, his mother from Scotland, Scottish Rite Freemasonry, running the show, Scottish 113, mainstream 113, dishonest 113, perverted 113. Think about how perverted Donald Trump's campaign begot. 33 days from the election was the pussy grabber story, where Donald Trump said he can do whatever he wants because he's a celebrity. It's all a show, though. Think about how he recorded it with Billy Bush, relative of the last two Republican presidents, George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush. George W. Bush equals 58, by the way, like Freemasonry. He's part of the Masonic Order Skull and Bones. But anyhow, if I forgot to mention, this man up at the top, he's wearing the Under Armour t-shirt. I'm not sure I mentioned that. He's wearing the Under Armour for one more 58. As above, so below the symbol. Occult esoteric knowledge important to the Freemasons. Under Armour also has this connection with Donald J. Trump, the art of the deal. All those eights. On August 8th this year, go back and look it up. It was the news story. Donald Trump unleashes his tax plan on August 8th, 88. Trump 88, tax plan 88. News by the numbers. So here was a headline from August 9th. August 9th, the art of the spiel, Donald Trump. Many people are saying, check this out. The art of the spiel equals 187. Important number to the first president, George Washington. George Washington also with the 88 gematria. The Republican Party equals 88. From Trump's GOP convention start in Cleveland on July 18th, or 18/7, 18/7, to Inauguration Day, 187 days, something I've been talking about a lot. The word murder equals 79, just like the word art of the spiel. And 187, it's a homicide code in several states, namely California. California, one of two states that equals 88. The other's Maryland, right where Washington, D.C. is. But anyhow, the date of this headline, August 9th, it was the 221st day of the year. Well, this year it was a leap year, or this past year, 2016. But typically it's the 221st day of the year. And look at this blurb up here. Many people are saying equals 221. The Bavarian Illuminati equals 221, which was established in history May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. In the history books, they credit the French Revolution to the Bavarian Illuminati. Think about how many American founders over in France, red, white, and blue nations, just like the UK, colors of Freemasonry. When you add red and blue, you get purple. Remember how when Bill and Hillary conceded? When Bill and Hillary conceded, they were both wearing purple. Trump equals 88. Purple equals 88. Elizabeth equals 88. It was 88 days after Queen Elizabeth's birthday. You know, the royal family wears purple. It was 88 days after her birthday that the convention began July 18th. And Donald Trump came out to Queen. We are the champions. The Bavarian Illuminati is the Freemasonic network worldwide. Includes the royal family, the Vatican, world governments, powerful banks, powerful industry. It is these forces that control media, that control so much of the products that we have in this consumer-based world. And this consumer-based world is the New World Order agenda. They've turned us all into consumers instead of intelligent, skillful people. They waste our time in school making us circle C for Christopher Columbus instead of teaching us how to do things. And they take up all of our time doing it. And they give us all this stressful paperwork. Memorize this, memorize this. Some of it's helpful, but a lot of it's just eating up your time, your precious time on this earth. This is why we got to put an end to all this stuff. And anyway, this is why I'm putting out this video, so people can wake up to the script that's upon us so we can end it. But anyway, from Trump's birthday to Inauguration Day was a span of 221 days. These are things I've been talking about all year when I've been reminding people that I could be wrong about Trump. I thought this was the whole script for him to just play the stooge that he played so Hillary could be put in there. I thought Hillary would go in there and just behave like a New World Order agent. And I said, you know what? If I'm wrong all this time, if they put Trump in there, these people just both serve the New World Order. The Bavarian Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. The Freemasons, the Jesuits, the Zionists. It's all them in high places, executing their agenda. So anyway, I'll be surprised if anything happens on Inauguration Day. What I think it's all foreshadowing is a tribute to what is staged later to come. Right now they're putting in the narrative, the mainstream. They're saying, Donald Trump, he could get killed on Inauguration Day. So a lot of people are consuming this media, and when time passes, they'll just think, oh, okay, that passed, it's cool, everything's cool now. But then I think they will have this planned assassination for agenda. We're going to talk more about the Second Amendment. Donald Trump, this whole thing right here was all part of when Donald Trump said Second Amendment people. Remember when he said that? He referred to the Second Amendment people maybe doing something about Hillary. And then the media said, is Donald Trump hinting that Hillary should be assassinated by someone who likes guns? Do you remember this? This was this summer, August. This was a headline in relation to that. So I just want to show you something from history's past. The last president to be assassinated, Steve S., pointed this out in a comment. I have this written in my book that will come out very soon, Decoding the History of This Nation. Talk about how from JFK to Inauguration Day, from his Inauguration Day to his assassination date, John F. Kennedy, killed in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason on 11/22. From his Inauguration Day, which was January 20th, 1961, the year Obama was born, to November 22nd, 1963, is 1,037 days. And the reason that number is so interesting is because it's a lot like 137. 137, very important to Washington, D.C., Freemasonry. One of the most well-known Freemasons in the history of the nation, Albert Pike, the only Confederate soldier to have a statue of him in Washington, D.C. His book is called Morals and Dogma. Morals and Dogma equals 137. Washington, D.C. equals 137. Authority equals 137. 137 is the 33rd prime number. The word federal is 33. JFK, federal government, Washington, D.C., body flown back to Washington, D.C. right away. Dallas has gematria just like Washington. They both also sum to 49. JFK killed in Dallas on 11/22. 11 plus 22, 33. So anyway, from Inauguration Day to death, 1,037 days, a lot like 137. 137, the 33rd prime number. Look at this. False flags, 33. Kennedy, 33. The Kennedys are from Massachusetts, one of 3 states with a 33 gematria. Massachusetts is the 6th state. The numerology of 33 is 3 plus 3 equals 6. The other 2 states with 33 gematria are the first state, Delaware, which was established December 7th, 1787, date with 33 numerology, Delaware, and Hawaii, the 50th and final state. Only 3 states with 33 gematria. The Kennedys from Massachusetts, one of them. False flag 33, Kennedy 33, Massachusetts 33, Order 33, Federal 33, Masonry 33, Secrecy 33. And with regards to RFK, the brother of JFK, who was also assassinated, he was supposedly killed by Sirhan Sirhan on dying June 6th at 1:44 in the morning. Look at this. The name Sirhan is 33, just like the name Robert, just like the name Kennedy. If you write out 33, it sums to 66. Sirhan Sirhan, 66. Robert Kennedy, 66. He died on June 6th after being shot June 5th. And here's what you need to know. This is important. I should have put this in here. This is just definitive proof of how these things have been scripted over the years. And I'm showing you this because if anything happens to Donald Trump, it's all part of a script, an ongoing script. Robert Kennedy equals 156 using the alphabetic order, just like if you write out 33. 33. The number 911 is the 156th prime number. The World Trade Centers, which came down on 9/11, they lasted from 1968 to 2001, 33 years. The firm that built them, Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, big long crazy name, in gematria sums to 156. In Jewish gematria, false flag equals 156. And again, false flag also sums to 33, as I just showed you. So anyhow, Bobby Kennedy dead June 6th by the 33 code in a big way. I'll show you another good 33. There's a movie called Truman Show. The main character is Truman Burbank. This movie came out on June 5th, the 156th day of the year. Bobby Kennedy was shot June 5th, died early in the morning June 6th at 1:44. The word time equals 144 in Jewish gematria. Anyway, the Truman Show is based or a tribute to the 33rd president, Harry Truman, who created the CIA and all the things that spy on us. The Truman Show is about a man who spied on his whole life. Movie that came out on the 156th day of the year. So get this. JFK, the 44th term president, the first president to be assassinated, Abraham. The name Abraham equals 44, like Honest Abe. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. When you write out April 4th, 144, kill 44. Bobby Kennedy dead at 1:44 in the morning. JFK dead on the first day of Sagittarius. You see? 144. The word time in Jewish gematria, 144. Now look at this. In 1961, Christmas Day, the Andy Griffith Show, December 25th, 1961, right here in the center of the screen, Sheriff Barney. Christmas Day, there's an episode about a bootlegging family getting busted at 411 Elm Street. JFK was shot from 411 Elm Street, supposedly in Dallas, Texas. Assassin equals 411 in Jewish gematria. With regards to Christmas, it has the same gematria as president, just like how Osama bin Laden equals 110, just like Rockefeller, like we mentioned earlier. This was the Andy Griffith Show. Obama was born August 4th, 1961. Look at this, 144 days from that Christmas Day episode. The man that would go on to become the 44th president. And here's some more 144 gematria. MLK, dead on April 4th. Malcolm X, dead on a date with a life lesson number of 44. You know, the first black president, 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. Civil rights equals 64. Barack Hussein Obama, the small way, 64. Civil Rights Act in 64. Obama just a baby. Oh, hold on. There's one more thing I want to show you about this. Dealey Plaza has the same gematria as the Andy Griffith Show. Berlin Wall, using the alphabetic order, also sums to 108. Be sure to check out my video on Donald Trump, JFK, and the Berlin Wall. Trump announced as the 45th president on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Covered this last night. This is a headline from January 17th, Trump's New World Disorder. Trump's New World Disorder sums to 115, taking office with the 115th Congress, where we began. Steve Ray, when you write out 58, when you write out Freemasons. JFK, the day he was killed, 11/22/1963, date with 115, numerology. The word killing's 115. Freemasons. Yesterday, this headline, Trump with an elevator door closing on him. We'll talk about what elevator, how that connects to JFK as well. Prince died this past year on an elevator. We'll talk more about that. The date JFK died also can be written 11/22/63, a date with 96 numerology, Freemason singular 96. This headline up here, which coded the 115, Trump's New World Disorder. Using the alphabetic order, Trump's New World Disorder sums to 313. It's slide 313 of the Zapruder film that shows JFK being murdered with the headshot. John F. Kennedy, 131. 313 plus 131 sums to 444, a code for Masonic. The name Oswald, I'll just show you, Truth Seeker. This is the times 6 method. You multiply each letter in the alphabet times 6 and then add the word. Oswald, 444. Any word that has an alphabetic order sum of 74 will sum to 444 because you just multiply times 6. 74 times 6 is 444. That's an easy way to do this method. Just add it up with the alphabetic order, then multiply times 6. Number of the Freemasons, 74, 444. Dealey Plaza, the small way, also sums to 45, like Sagittarius. Trump, the 45th president, announced on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. This headline yesterday came January 17th, 117, number coded next to Trump all year, Central Intelligence Agency. Truman, the 33rd president, who created the CIA, said that the CIA should be reduced to an intelligence capacity and nothing more 1 month after the assassination of JFK. And why do you think that was? So that picture up at the top with the headline connecting to the assassination of JFK in numbers, they show him on the elevator. And in gematria, elevator sums to 35. Yesterday's date had a 35 numerology. JFK, the 35th president, the 44th term president, replaced by Lyndon Johnson because of the assassination. Interesting that JFK's assassination was 223 days before the Civil Rights Act. 223. Masonic. You know? And it's almost like they're trying to recreate, a new racial problem for a new decade, a new century with what's going on right now. The staging of Obama, then Trump, all this racism connecting to Trump to the KKK all year. KKK, K is the 11th letter, 11 plus 11 plus 11, 33. Race war, 33. Anyway, 44, deadly number. After I posted the video, somebody reminded me, Prince died on the elevator. And look, 313 is the 65th prime number. Prince equals 65. There might truly be a riddle in this, There might truly be a riddle here, even connecting to Prince. Prince died in Minnesota, the state that sums to 110 like president. It's interesting. 313, the 65th prime, Prince 65, Prince died on an elevator. Had that song he wrote about years ago, which foreshadowed his death, talking about the elevator. Prince wrote, I would die for you with the number 4 and the letter U. Use the 21st letter, 421. He dies on 421, April 21st. Also, this happened recently, 3 days before the election, November 5th. Donald Trump was in Reno, Nevada. A date that can be written 5/11, 511-day campaign. 511 is a number of Saturn, and Saturn has something called its magic cube. The sum of the magic square of Saturn, it's actually called Saturn's magic square, the magic square of Saturn. The sum of the magic square of Saturn is 45. 45, like Trump being the 45th president. Notice that Reno, Nevada, where this happened at, sums to 45. Nevada, one of two states with a gematria of 47, like the word president. Nevada, Ohio, the only two states. Trump had his GOP convention in Ohio. The first Republican debate was in Ohio, the first Democratic debate in Nevada for the presidency when they were narrowing down the field, the only two states with 47 gematria. So anyway, I'll link all these posts. There's more information here, Truth Seeker. That's the thing about this topic. It takes time to explain it. But once you know it, you can make these connections in record time. You know, when you're not trying to explain it to somebody and teach it to them, if you just know the knowledge and you see the numbers, you can go, oh, okay. So here we are, we're in 2017. I'm thinking about Donald Trump's comment about Second Amendment people, how it was synced up with Inauguration Day, all of this stuff. You know, the media said, is Trump hinting at having Hillary assassinated? Remember, there was that assassination attempt of Gabby Giffords in Arizona. At first they reported she was dead, then in critical condition, then the miraculous comeback. That was all an act. Arizona is one of two states with a gematria of 84. United States of America equals 84. Jesuit equals 84. Obama 84. His birthday is 8/4. The divisors of the number 44 sum to 84. Think about Obama, the 44th president with 84 coded all over him. Anyway, that whole Gabby Gifford story was by the numbers. And you might recall that Sarah Palin had the campaign with the bullseyes on certain Democrats, and one of them was Gabby Giffords. And then she got scrutiny after Gabby Giffords was shot. They said, oh, see, she instigated this by having this campaign with a bullseye on Gabby Giffords' face. In reality, what's going on is that's how the media foreshadows their future plans, giving out clues for what they're going to do next in their ongoing agenda. And for a year and a half, the media's been dropping nothing but clues about a future Trump assassination. Could it happen Inauguration Day? Maybe. But I think it's going to be further down the road. I think they got to really work us up with Donald Trump even more before it happens. You know, I think Donald Trump has a few more acts before he exits the stage. So anyway, Second Amendment equals 59. That's the right to bear arms. I don't think that they'll ever have a gun grab on America, but will they make it a lot harder to buy a gun from this day on? Very possibly. The nation's already saturated with guns. There's guns infinitely on the black market in the United States. They could never collect all the guns. There's so many unregistered weapons. But could they make it a lot harder to buy guns? They could. If they do that, though, they're going to be getting their fees and their revenues, and what they're going to do is they're going to tax the hell out of gun owners. They're going to make gun ownership super expensive. Hillary Clinton talked about this in the 90s, making gun ownership the same as car ownership. When you own multiple cars, you pay more insurance. When you own multiple guns, you pay more gun insurance, and they're talking about making it mandatory. That's why part of the reason I thought that Hillary would be coming in, because I thought that's where we were in the game. I thought that they were going to really, boost the taxes on guns and make fees and revenue off it. But it could be these people work slowly. It could be that right now the agenda is to, make it so gun ownership is a lot more difficult going forward. But at the same time, they'll make up their revenue by taxing the hell out of the people who already own guns. And they could do that over the next 8 years. These people work slow. They work at a slow boil's pace. 59, the 17th prime. Here we are at the beginning of 2017. Second Amendment, if you use the S exception, sums to 68, like Donald Trump's full name, Donald John Trump, who called people in August the Second Amendment people. Again, suggesting they should do something about Hillary. The date that the Second Amendment was signed into law was December 15th, 1791. Right here. Adopted December 15th, 1791 as part of the 10 amendments contained in the Bill of Rights. Out of all the amendments, the Second Amendment always gets the most focus. And just notice that was a date with a life lesson number of 45. Here we are, Donald Trump, the 45th president. In regards to the 27, Trump was announced as the 45th president on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, a symbol of the New World Order. The date was also a date with 118 numerology. Madison had a lot to do with these Bill of Rights. Madison's big number was 118. The election this year was on November 8th, 118. Number connected to death. So anyway, Trump, to me it seems that he's being put in as the next World Trade Centers, the next planned monument meant to fall for an agenda. And look at what's going on in this nation ever since September 11th when they duped us. And not to mention, Donald Trump wrote in the beginning of 2000, he released a book on January 15th, 115, in 2000, talking about Osama bin Laden and a bigger attack on the World Trade Centers. How do you think he knew about that? The same way Prince did, who sung about it in the 90s, ending his tour in Europe. Go listen to that audio clip. Prince singing at the end of his tour in Europe about how he's got to go home because Osama bin Laden's getting ready to drop the bomb. The man who gave us the song about partying like it's, the end of 1999. We're living out an agenda, a planned agenda. Donald Trump was foreshadowed as the president for decades. See all the videos I put out since Election Day. Got over 100 videos on Donald Trump. But there it is again. We got the ritual with the 58-year-old, the number of Freemasonry. We got the ritual with the man who climbed the 58-story tower, August 10th, the 223rd day of the year. Civil rights. I'm just going to show you guys this real quick. You know what? That whole 223 thing, I think that's what's up. I've been wondering about that for a long time. Now I'm just seeing how it all comes together. Look at this. JFK killed November 22nd, 1963. The Civil Rights Act was signed July 2nd. No, it was July. Hold on. Let's look it up, Truth Seeker. I haven't looked at this for a while, but I do remember it's 200. Civil Rights Act. I think it was July 3rd, actually. 1964. Whoop. July 2nd. Okay, it was July 2nd. There we go. July 2nd, 1964. From the date of the JFK assassination to the Civil Rights Act signed by Lyndon B. Johnson. Hold on, I think I remember something up with Lyndon B. Johnson too. Some of these things I haven't touched for a while. Look at that, 64. Just like civil rights. Just like Barack Hussein Obama. MLK, Malcolm X, faces of the civil rights movement, murdered by the number 44. Obama 44 years later is the 44th president. We're living out an entire script by the numbers. Think about it. Obama to Trump. Just messing with us. Messing with us. All year they've been coding Donald Trump next to the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, KKK 33. See? History by the same numbers, history of division, the Freemasons into divide and conquer, order out of chaos. This is it. This is it. This is how the planned agenda on goes. And just understand, it's not going to end. It's not like it's all going to end no matter what happens Inauguration Day, whatever day they have planned to get rid of Trump. None of it is the day it ends. The day it ends, This madness is the day we, the people, stand up, speak out, stop being cowards, confront these people, and say enough's enough. You know, we're all showing up in Washington, D.C. We're showing up in all the state capitals. None of us are leaving any of these buildings until you all resign and hand the power back over to the people. And we're going to have a special election right now. And we're going to set up a makeshift temporary government that's supposed to operate under the laws of the Constitution, the state laws, the laws that are on the books, not the bullshit that gets forced down our throats, all this New World Order contrived nonsense. You know what I mean? We got rules and laws that are on paper that make sense. All men are equal. We're just going to follow that. All men are equal. And we'll edit in the word women too. Everyone's going to be equal. You know? This is what I'm saying. Let's wake up. Let's get ahead of the New World Order. We can get ahead of them. We see that they have the future scripted. Let's get ahead of their script. Let's wake up people to this reality and put an end to it. Let's all show up in D.C., just like I said, every state capital. Say, we know how this is all scripted. We're not going to have your staged assassination. We're not going to have more of your New World Order agenda. We're not going to go to work and slave for you anymore. We're not going to let Monsanto grow all the food. You guys realize these types of things are happening? Monsanto, you know, this huge, powerful company. Well, now they're even owned by a bigger company. It's not even Monsanto anymore, but you know what I'm saying? These companies, they're running our world. They're making laws so that only they can grow certain foods. Do you guys realize this? It's like Monsanto years ago made it so that they were the only company that could produce alfalfa in the United States. Why? Alfalfa is supposed to be for health. Do you want Monsanto controlling alfalfa? Crazy things are going on in the nation. And we, the people, we're just watching the sports game. You know? Want to go to watch the movie, the sitcom. There's all these great shows to watch. You know why there's more and more entertainment coming out? Because they need more and more distractions. They need you really not paying attention to what's going on in the world right now. That's all for now, Truth Seeker. Tune in tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, every Wednesday, Truth Frequency Radio. I have my 3-hour program. Again, begins at 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll link it in the description. You know, call in tonight. You never called in before, call in, ask your questions. Got to get this knowledge out here. I need 1 million people listening. You know what I mean? I think right now there's just like 1,000. I have no idea what the numbers are, but I know it's not enough. Until next time, Truth Seeker.